Welcome back everyone, I'm Plays Games. This is FTL, the science fiction roguelike game, and as a roguelike game it has infinite replayability, which is a good thing because we've played it 5 times already on this channel and we're going to play it again. We have in our 5 playthroughs used this ship, the Kestrel, and if you complete the game with that it unlocks the next ship, which is the Taurus, and we've used that. And if you complete the game it then unlocks the Osprey, then the Adjudicator, and the last one we unlocked and used was the Gila monster. So let's have a look at the one we're going to be using now. This is the Man of War. It is a slug ship. As such, the 2 crew you begin the game with are slugs. Slugs' special ability is that their telepathic powers reveal rooms and lifeforms even when sensors are down. This is good, which means even though we do not have sensors because they are not listed here as one of our systems, our slug crew can spot enemy crew on the enemy ship, and they will appear as little red dots, so we always know where the enemy is. And our other ability is immune to mind control. That's not going to affect us. Mind control only takes place in the Advanced Edition, and we are not using Advanced Edition. We will of course be using Easy Mode, because FTL is a brutally hard game. Easy Mode is what other games would call Hard Mode. Normal mode is what other games would call hardcore mode, and you play hard mode on FTL, it means you hate yourself and you think you must be punished. Let's have a look at the ship systems. This ship begins with 1 layer of shields. You get 1 layer of shields for every 2 power bars in shields. We start with 2 powers in engine, that's quite nice. Puts our dodge up a little bit. Oxygen so we can breathe. Weapons so we can fire our weapons. A med bay so we can heal our people. Piloting so we can fly the ship. And level 2 doors, which is nice. That's why the doors are silver. If the doors on our ship were level 1, they would be yellow. So we have decent blast doors, that's good. And we also have this special augmentation, which is Slug Repair Gel. This automatically, but very slowly, repairs any hull breaches, which are holes in the floor of a ship which vent oxygen. Weapons wise, we begin the game with one of the best weapons in the game, the dual lasers. This only requires 1 bar of power to work and it fires 2 shots. So that's really efficient. We begin the game with the Breach Bomb 1. This is also an excellent weapon. Bombs teleport straight through any number of shields, so even if the enemy has 4 or 5 layers of shield, the bomb will go straight through it. It cannot be intercepted by things like enemy defense drones, which can shoot down missiles, because this is not a missile, this is a bomb. Teleports on board the enemy ship, does 1 power bar of damage to any one system. So say for example we bombed our own medbay, we would destroy the medbay because it only has 1 power bar. And it does 30 damage to any crew that are in that room, but the most important thing is that it always causes a breach. And as I said before, breaches are holes in the floor, and the enemy crew, before they can repair the destroyed system, have to repair the breach first. So it really slows down the enemy's repair. So it's a really good tactical weapon. And this is what this whole build is about. This is the anti-bio beam. Beam lasers, you click where you want them to go, then you drag a line and you click where the line ends. And the way the bio beam works is that it does no damage to the ship itself or any systems underneath the beam. What this does, it does 60 crew damage to any enemy crew that are under the beam. Most crew have 100 health, Rocks have 150, and I believe Zoltans have 60, I think, maybe 75. So yeah, the anti-bio beam means right at the start of the game we can kill the enemy crew. Use the dual lasers to take the shields down and kill them with the anti-bio beam. Why is killing the crew good? Because if you can kill the enemy crew, you get enhanced rewards. So this ship is a whole lot of fun. If you want to unlock the B-type variant of the ship, we have to complete 2 of these tasks. One of them is, whilst using the slug cruiser, have vision on every room of the enemy ship without functioning sensors. That means getting our people into the enemy ship and using their telepathic ability to spot every room. Not easy for us, we don't have a teleporter. As we see, our slugs can see 1 room away from where they are and the room they're in. So the guy in piloting can see piloting room and this corridor, and the guy in engines can see his room and the adjoining weapons room. So you'd have to get a couple of people on board a small enemy ship and position them quite carefully. Home sweet home, jump to 30 nebula locations before sector 8. Not all that difficult to do. And this one, Disintegration Ray, whilst using the Slug Cruiser, kill 3 enemy crew members with 1 shot from the Bio Beam. Not that difficult if the enemy line up nicely. But anyway, let's stop waffling and start playing. The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore every sector before moving on to the next. But get to the exit before the rebel fleet catch you. And a random tip. Right, let's see, we've got 3 power bars to put in weapons. Obviously, we'll be wanting to use the dual lasers and anti-bio beam most of the time. We don't need the med bay to be on, so we'll just right click and remove 1 power bar from that. And I'd rather have it in the engines to put the dodge up. So right at the start of the game, we have a 1 in 5 chance of the enemy's weapons missing, which is quite nice. We're beginning the game with 16 fuel, 15 missiles. Even though the breach bomb is not a missile, it does consume missiles. Missiles like a catch-all term for missiles and bombs. No drones, but that's okay, we don't even have a drone bay. We'll just leave our crew where they are, book their positions here, and then we'll go. Now, as always, you do not want to go straight to the exit. What you want to do is to visit as many of these yellow pings as possible, and it's good to mouse over them all and kind of plot your route. The enemy fleet will be coming from the left of the screen to the right of the screen. Every turn it will advance a certain amount. So what you want to do is like surf just ahead of it and stay just ahead of it so you can maximise the number of pings. Why do you do that? Because every ping is a potential to earn money. So let's just go down here. It looks like we can do all these 3 and then move out down here. Right, a rebel ship is guarding this beacon. You order a pursuit course and prepare to scratch up 1 more. First thing I always do is press space to pause the game. And then I identify what the enemy has. And then I evaluate how we're going to win. This is the pie method. The enemy have 1 enemy combat drone. Now these combat drones will fly around the ship and then stop and shoot. And then they will move and stop and shoot. Problem is that the distance that they fly is random. So if it flies here and then shoots and then flies all the way around here before shooting again, it gives us ample time for our shields to regenerate and come back up. But if it shoots here and then just flies to here and shoots immediately again, it very well may do some real damage to us. That is a bit of a problem. And they also have what I know is a mini beam, and I'm not seeing any other weapons on the ship itself. So their tactic is going to be take down our shields with the drone and then fire the mini beam, which will do a little line across our ship and damage all the systems and the hull with its beam. Now, as I said, we can see the enemy crew even though we don't have sensors. That's this missing subsystem here. We can see the enemy crew because we have slugs. It looks like they're fairly nicely lined up. So what we're going to do, we're going to wait until our bio beam is fully charged up, and then we'll fire the dual lasers. I'm going to fire the dual lasers at the drone control. First shot, if it hits, will take down their shield. The second shot, if it hits, should hopefully turn off the combat drone. Because beams cannot fire through shields, the combat drone is the only thing which is a threat. If we can turn it off, we'll be immune to their beam. So let's see if that works. Okay, the drone has fired, the shield has gone down. This blue bar indicates how close our shield is to coming back up. And indeed it flew all the way across the ship, which gave us time for the shield to regenerate. Okay, that's not good. Before our shield came up, their mini beam fired and it's knocked out our oxygen and our medbay. Medbay is not a huge problem. Oxygen may be a big problem. But before I panic and send someone in there to fix it right now, I'm going to try and get our first volley of fire off. Okay, bio beam's ready. Let's go dual lasers. Now I'm pausing before the second shot hits because we need to do the bio beam before their shield comes back online. So we'll just click here, click on the guy in piloting, and then drag the line down here. So both of these guys are going to take 60 damage each. And we managed to turn the drone off, so that's great. So now we can get one of our people up here, and I sent the guy from engines up here because you really want to keep someone in piloting all the time. If no one's in piloting, then for us, our evasion will go down to 0. Not that evasion matters, because their drone is not working. But as we see, their person here is repairing their drone control, so their drone could come back online, in which case I'd rather have some evasion. And if no one is in piloting, your FTL drive, which is your escape engine, stops charging up. Now it's a race. Who can fix their systems first? They can. Okay, but our anti-bio beam's ready to go, so let's smash their drone system again. Okay, one of our shots missed, but that's okay, because the other one hit, so the shield went down. So let's draw our line with the anti-bio beam again, and this will kill both of these guys in that room. Which is good. Looks like our oxygen is back up, which means we can put our guy back in engines to increase our evasion back up to 20. It's good that their guy from weapons had to run out, because that has slowed down the recharge of their mini beam. Because some rooms, as we see, like piloting and engines and weapons and shields, have little computers in them, and if you put someone in that room, they will automatically use it, and that's why they get this little white filled in icon of crew, which tells you it's been crewed. That is adding +5 evasion, as we see, manned +5 evasion. Well, they still hit the doors that time. But it only did 1 damage. The doors are still working. They're just a little bit broken. Don't really care about fixing the doors. Okay. Now we have a decision to make. I'm still going to go for the drone control. So let's put the dual lasers on here. And as soon as the shields go down, I'm going to pause. Okay. Now the problem is that if we damage the drone control, this guy is going to run down here, through here, and try and fix the drone control. So you have to be careful with your anti-bio beam and make sure you actually hit this guy. Because we know he's going to be, if this hits, he's going to be running north to south. I want to do the beam that way to make sure that we catch him. And indeed, he did run down the corridor, and we caught him with the beam. So hopefully the bio beam will be ready to go again before his guy fixes his drones. Not quite, so we're going to wait until this guy gets back in piloting. That's close enough. Going to dual laser his piloting. As soon as the shield go down, pause the game, bio beam, and that's the win. Quite tricky, but this is an example of the increased rewards you get for killing the enemy crew. We found a weapon on their ship with no crew left to stop us. We can install it for ourselves. So we got 12 scrap being this, which is money you can spend in stores and in space to upgrade your ship, and a stonking weapon, a heavy laser Mark 1, which has automatically installed itself. So let's get our guys to fix up our ship. Now I'm not going to send the guy in piloting in to fix the medbay. I would rather let Pipalook do all the repairing. And as we see, there are little progress bars down here, which means every time they perform an action, they get better at doing it. So if he does 18 repairs, he will become half trained. There are 3 levels of trained. There's untrained, green trained, and gold trained. So if we can get this guy to do all the repairs, eventually he'll rank up. And when you rank up in repair, you repair things faster. So that can be a really good thing. Right, that's that fixed. So instead of using the anti-bio beam, we can now do dual lasers and heavy laser, or dual lasers and heavy laser and breach Mark 1. So if we find an enemy which does not have crew we can kill, we can switch over to lasers and just do massive damage. Heavy lasers do normal damage too. If you hit an enemy which has 2 layers of shield, it will not take down 2 layers of shield. That's not how damage works. Lasers will only ever take down 1 shield bubble per hit. So take the shields down with this, which does 2 shots, and then hit their hull and systems with a 2 damage heavy laser. 42 scrap. This button here, this ship icon, is how we upgrade our ship. The first thing I always like to do is to get 2 more power bars and shield. That will cost 50 in total. We're only on 42, so we'll just not do anything and we'll move on. This ping, please. You detect a rebel scout on an attack approach to a small refueling outpost. Their weapons are charged, but they're not firing yet, so let's intervene. Looks like we might get some fuel out of this. That's good. So press number 1. The rebel responds to your threat. I don't know who you are, but no one defies the rebel fleet. They move in to engage. So let's continue and instantly pause. Right, let's identify. This looks like a little laser that only does 1 shot. So each time that fires, it'll take down our 1 shield. And again, they have a mini beam. Now, the good thing about NPC ships is that they're not smart like us. They do not wait for their weapon charge to sync up. So they will fire these weapons as soon as they're ready. If the AI was a bit smarter, they would wait until both are ready, then fire their laser, which will take down the shield, and then fire the mini beam whilst the shield is down. But the AI is dumb and it fires their weapons as soon as they're ready. Now, if we had sensors and someone manning the sensors, we could see the enemy's weapon charge up, but we don't have that, so we can't. So we're just going to have to guess. Now, I think these 2 weapons are going to be pretty similar in their charge up times. You can tell the charge up time by the colour. This red glow increases and then it turns green when it's ready to fire. Yeah, they're pretty well synced up. Okay, now the shields are down. This is bad. And the shields are on fire. This is very bad. Doesn't matter if we have no evasion, because we just need to get in here and put the fire out and fix the shields. I could put the fire out by opening the door into space and then venting the room, but that'll take quite some time for the oxygen to go out and the fire to go out. And then, of course, I'd have to re-oxygenate the room and then send the people in to fix the shields. Let's just get the people in there. Now, as soon as the anti-bio beam is charged, I'm going to fire the dual lasers at their weapons. We just need to take at least one of their weapons offline, because we're only in danger when both of them are working. If the mini beam goes down, no big deal, because they're left with this 1 laser that does 1 damage to, hopefully, our repaired shields. And if the laser goes offline, no big deal, because that means the beam can't get through our shield. So we're only in trouble when both the weapons are active, so dual lasers in the weapons, and then we'll do the bio beam straight across here and try and take out these 2 guys. If we're still alive by then. Good, it's only 1 fire in this room. Because it's a 4-cell room, we could have had 3 or 4 fires in here. That would be really bad. As you see, our people are taking damage per second because the room's on fire. Okay, both the weapons are ready. Let's fire the dual lasers here. As soon as the shields go down, pause, draw a line, hit these guys for 60 each. Okay, the fire in that room has spread to a 2nd cell. That's going to mean that's bad, because the system itself is taking damage per second as well from the fires, and that means it's going to take longer for our guys to put the fires out, and they're taking even more damage per second now. Okay, good, we managed to get their weapons off. And we got a warning because our hull is at 75%. If this goes to 0, game over. So our shields are completely broken out, it blew up, and when systems go red, you take 1 additional hull point of damage. So these guys are going to have to put the 1 remaining fire out and then repair 2 power bars before we can get our shields back online. So I think we're not going to wait for the anti-bio beam right now. We need to put our lasers on their weapons as soon as we can to try and knock out the beam as well. Because without shields, we're very vulnerable to the beam. Okay, and what happened there is that the guy who was fixing their weapons took some damage, because anyone standing in the room when it takes damage takes health damage. And he got down to so low health that he ran out of the room. And these guys are doing the putting a fire out animation, because our weapon has a possible effect of causing a fire. So we've set their weapons on fire. This is very good. This gives us more than enough time to fix our own shields. So let's just fix the shields. Now this other enemy crewman ran out of their weapons room because he had been hit by the anti-bio beam, so he had 40 health when he ran into the room, and he was taking fire damage, and then he had to run back out of the room because he was in such low health that if he stayed in that room he would have died. So let's send our people back to their rooms, then Pepperluke will automatically repair the engines, our evasion will go back up, the FTL drive will start charging again, and our own weapons are ready to go again. So let's go for, I want to say their piloting. If you cause too much damage to an enemy ship, they will try to spool up their FTL drive and escape. But if you destroy the piloting, that prevents that. And also destroying the piloting reduces the enemy's evasion to 0. So let's go for this. If we're lucky, right, it hit. Let's pause. Let's do a bio beam here. Now if we're lucky, we're going to get a crew kill right here. Because as I said before, this will do a small amount of damage if it hits to the person in this room. And they ran out of their burning weapons room because they were on low health. If we're lucky, we know this guy's on low health because he also ran out of here. And he's definitely going to take 60 damage, so he's going to die. This guy might die, and this guy might die, depending on how much health he had left. So let's find out. No, we missed. But this room is still on fire, so he has not run out of his piloting to come and fix it, which means we're invincible now, which is nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to depower the engines and put one power into medbay and put both our people in the medbay and get them fixed, because we're in no danger. Their weapons are permanently destroyed. Now, if we left this for too long, what would happen is that the fire would burn all the oxygen in this room, and then it would go out, and then we might see this guy run in here and try and fix them. We want to prevent that, so let's just laser the room he's in. As soon as the shield goes down, anti-bio beam, and that's the win. There we are. In fact, it wasn't the anti-bio beam that killed him, it was the dual laser that killed him. With the crew dead, we quickly salvage what we can. We got 1 missile, 1 drone part, and 32 more scrap. No weapons or anything else exotic this time, but it's a decent reward. Oh, here we go. The outpost hails you. The pompous bastards expected free service just because they defeated the Federation. Take this for the help. They gave us 2 fuel and another 25 scrap. So we're swimming in scrap at the moment. This is lovely. In that case, let's go to the ship upgrade screen, do the next layer of shield. As I said, you get 1 shield bubble for every 2 bars you put in this. And we also have enough money to buy power bars. And power bars is great because that means we can put 2 in here. So we have 2 spare power bars in our battery bank. You can assign them to the shields. Boop. So now if we meet any other enemy ships which are armed exactly the same as this one, we're completely immune to them, because they would have a laser that took down 1 shield bubble, and then the remaining shield bubble would prevent their beam from going through. So this is a very good result. We don't need the power bar to be in the medbay anymore, so we'll reassign it to engines to boost our engines up. Right, good start. Let's move on. Here comes the enemy fleet. It is not instant death if they overtake you. It's just very, very difficult fights to escape. And the only reward you get from winning these fights is 1 unit of fuel, which lets you escape. So let's just push on a little bit. I kind of want to come down here and do all these pings and work our way to the exit this way. So let's do that. Upon completing your jump, you receive a message from a nearby ship. Greetings and welcome to our beacon. For a small fee, we'll let you continue on your way. If we had 21 scrap, we could pay them, and then they would let us leave. But we're going to reject the offer, because A, we don't have the money, and B, I wouldn't pay them anyway. And they say, too bad, you'll regret that decision. So let's continue. Instantly pause. Okay. Bit of a problem. That is a bomb, and as I said, bombs teleport straight through shields. So the bomb is the big threat. The heavy laser Mark 1, which is exactly the same weapon we have, won't do anything. It will knock down 1 layer of shield each time it fires, so don't care about that. Do care about the bombs. Now let's have a look at the crew. That is a human. That is an NG. NG repair things really fast, which is quite annoying. And that is a mantis, this insect looking guy here. Mantis repair things really slow. So let's see if we cannot put our weapons into their weapons and destroy their bomb. Now, the annoying thing about bombs is that until they're fully charged, I cannot see the warhead. There will be a little warhead that appears just here, but this being an NPC ship, as soon as it's ready to fire, it will fire it. So I have like one frame to identify which kind of bomb it is. There are many different kinds of bomb, and they all charge up at different rates. So we shall just have to see what kind of bomb it is. There it is. And I can tell because of the time it took to charge and a visual identification, this is a small bomb. This is going to teleport on us and do 1 damage to some random system. But if we're lucky, the AI has chosen an empty room to bomb. Let's see. They're bombing our weapons. That's not good. So let's drag and drop our weapons. Damage goes from right to left. So the 1 damage we're going to take is going to knock our anti-bio beam offline. But that's okay, because our dual lasers are still operational. So I'm going to fire the dual lasers now because they're ready. And we're going to try and knock their weapons offline. And a fire, which means 2 fires, 3 fires now. We're going to need both guys in here. Weapons are completely destroyed. This is not going well. Okay, 4 fires. That's about as bad as it gets. So we're going to have to open all the doors into space. And wait for the oxygen to vent out and then put the fires out. There we go, oxygen is vented. That's what this red hatching means. Fires are going out. As soon as the last fire goes out, close the doors. Open the internal doors to equalise the oxygen. It's no longer red hatched. We'll put our guys back in there. Close the doors again. And get to fixing our weapons. The Mantis has fixed their weapons. That's annoying. That's one of our 2 weapons bars on. This time they bombed an empty room. That was an error on their part. Right, let's put Lee Tech back in piloting so we've at least got some kind of piloting. We're going to need 2 power bars, so we'll depower the medbay, repower the anti-bio beam. I'm leaving Pepperluke here so he's manning the guns so they recharge 10% faster. Good. We caused a miss. Come on, come on. Good. Their bomb missed. This is why we had the guy in piloting. Even though it's only a 15% chance of them missing, both of their weapons missed, so we got lucky. Okay, let's go for the weapons again. As soon as the shields go down, pause the game, draw a line, damage both of these guys. Sweet. Now the problem with using the dual lasers... Okay, now we have no evasion because our engines are offline. Let's get Lee Tech to keep the weapons charging and Pepperluke to go and fix his engine bay. Now the problem we are having is that we're going to need 1 more bio beam to kill these 2 and then another 2 to kill this guy. And every time we fire the dual lasers and they both hit, we're going to do 1 damage to the shields and 1 damage to the ship. So the problem you might run into is that you might very well destroy the ship before you've killed the crew, but I think we'll be okay. Weapons are ready. Let's go for their weapons room. Good. Kill both these guys. We killed the Mantis, and we've done so much damage to them that they have said, "You have clearly bested us. We merely request our lives." I am not going to accept their surrender, even though they're offering us 3 missiles, 1 drone and 14 scrap, because I'm assuming we're going to get more than that if and when I can kill all the crew. And I think we're going to kill the NG right now as soon as I press 2 to not accept surrender. Yep. Okay. So we're now no longer at risk of blowing up the ship before we can kill this guy. Because all we need is for 2 hits to get through. and the ship has 3 hull remaining. So let's do 1 on this. Shields are down, pause the game, draw a line, 60 more damage to him. And next time that happens, he'll die. Okay, the ship's been fixed, so Pipalook goes back in weapons, Lee Tech goes back in piloting, and we're all back to where we should be. Biobeam's ready, because we're charging 10% faster. As soon as the shield goes down, pause. Okay, he's fixed the weapons room, and he's on his way back to where he wants to be. Hopefully, we'll catch him in the beam. Yeah, we did. Whew, just. There are no more life signs on the ship. We strip it of useful materials and we get 2 fuel, 1 drone and 28 scrap. And there were no extra rewards. So let's put our guys back where they should be. Are there any upgrades we want to do? I don't think so. I'm very tempted to dump 35 of our 37 scrap into increasing the weapon control. So if needs be, we can remove 1 power bar from the engines and then have, say, the dual lasers and the heavy laser and the anti-bio beam on, which is nice because then we're eventually going to find enemies that have more and more shield bubbles. So to use the anti-bio beam, it would be nice to have dual lasers that do 2 shots and this laser that does 1 shot to take down 3 layers of shield. And increasing the weapons would mean that the weapons room could take 1 point of damage before the anti-bio beam gets turned off. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll just do that. So this little power bar here, if the weapons room takes 1 point of damage, it will damage this empty power bar here and our weapons will not be turned off. A little bit of safety there. Do we want to go down this way and then kind of only just be in front of the enemies? Why not? Okay, we spot a small rebel ship nearby. It seems to have been refitted for transport rather than combat. It does not seem to want to engage you and your ship. Let's demand the surrender of their goods. Or we can avoid the ship. So let's demand the surrender. You prepare to secure their cargo by force. But they look like they don't want to fight. They're trying to escape. Now we have this enemy FTL charging thing up here. So indeed, their FTL counter is going to go up, and as soon as it goes up, they're going to run away. We can prevent that by blowing up their engines or their piloting. So let's continue and pause. Okay, they have a combat drone 1 and a mini beam. We should be invulnerable to this because combat drones can very rarely move here, fire, then move a couple of pixels over, fire, and then move another couple of pixels over and fire. So they can take down 2 shield bubbles, but it's quite rare. So what I'm going to do is actually use our bomb. I'm going to turn our bomb on, and our bomb, as soon as it's ready, is going to go in there piloting and turn it off. Good. You heard the pshh. That was a breach. And it's destroyed their piloting. There's now a breach in the room, so this guy and this guy are going to have to fix the breach before they can fix the piloting. And by the time that's happened, the dual lasers will be ready. And the bio beam. So let's put the dual lasers in the piloting again. As soon as shields go down, pause, draw a line with the bio beam. Lots more damage. One of them's dead. And the breach bomb's ready to go. So, because they've got 2 people in here repairing it, I want to make sure they can't repair it, because 2 people repairing stuff repairs it quite fast. Oh, we killed one of them, so that's good. And now this guy has to repair the breach before he can repair the piloting. Bio beam's nearly ready. There it is. Dual lasers, bio beam, easy win. With the crew dead, you search the ship. You find military-grade weaponry and take what looks most useful. That's very useful. We get 26 scrap and a burst laser Mark 1. Very interesting. Now the burst laser Mark 1 is similar to the dual lasers in that it does 2 shots, but this requires 2 power. So we'll keep this in our cargo. We're not going to fit it because the dual lasers is better because this does 2 shots for 1 power. But this is very nice. We know that we've got enough weapons and enough power bars to do dual laser, heavy laser, anti-bio beam, so we can take down 3 layers of shield. Later on in the game, we'll be facing enemies with 4 or sometimes 5 layers of shield, in which case the Burst Laser Mark 1 may well be a very good mid to late game weapon. Good find that, I like that a lot. Is there anything else we want to spend on our ship upgrades, or will we save our money? I think I may put 1 power bar in piloting, because as we see on the right hand side, when you have level 2 piloting, you get a 50% evasion even though no one is in the piloting room, because as we know right now, our piloting is, when it's fully powered with the engines, 20, and if no one's in piloting, goes down to 0. Not good. So I'm just going to buy that and accept, and now when no one's in piloting, we still have a little bit of evasion, even though the FTL drive stops recharging. At least it means if we need to, because we've only got 2 crew members, this guy can run around and repair things, and we'll at least have some sort of evasion. So let's push on, shall we? Things are going great. Okay, it looks like this beacon is home to a rebel checkpoint. They're stopping and searching any ship that patches through. Civilians are being harassed and Federation members are detained. The rebels haven't noticed you yet. We can stay quiet and try and sneak through. We can bribe someone, we don't have enough money. Or we can fight our way through. Let's fight our way through. Okay. Let's pause the game. Identify what the enemy has. They have a beam drone, which can't do anything to us because we've got 2 layers of shields. It can't get through 1 layer of shields. And they have a missile. Missiles are annoying. They pass straight through your shields. So this is going to be another breach bomb. Now, last time, to turn the breach bomb on, I took 1 power bar away from the engines. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep our engines and our evasion up as high as we can. I'm going to take power away from shields. We will drop down to only 1 shield bubble, but I don't care because this thing ignores shields and this thing is completely nullified by only 1 shield bubble. We'll just have 1 spare power bar. Right, breach bomb, as soon as it's ready, has to go into their weapons to turn off this missile launcher. And everything else will be dual lasers and anti-bio beam to kill the crew. Here comes the missile. It hit, but it hit an empty room. This is good. It caused a fire. I can hear a fire. So what I'm going to do is open all the doors into space that lead between this room and space, and eventually all the oxygen from here will get sucked out and the fire will go out on its own. This is the problem when you don't have sensors. You can't actually see all the squares of your own ship, but I can hear a fire. It's in here. Okay, the dual lasers are ready. Let's go for their piloting room. No, weapons. Good, shields are down. I'll just draw a line. Cool, we've actually killed the guy that was fixing the weapons already. That's a good result. Oh, okay, looks like this guy's running out because we hit him with the bio beam. He's running away, obviously because he didn't fix the breach and there's not enough oxygen in that room to keep him alive. This is a good thing. So we're going to do the same. Dual lasers in the weapons. As soon as the shields go down, pause. I don't think we're going to get them both with the anti-bio beam. We're definitely going to get this guy. Oh no, we did. Cool. Kill the guy in piloting. I'm not hearing that fire anymore, so I'm going to close all of our doors. Okay, the weapons are back online, so let's smash them again with our own bomb. And away he goes again. Oh, okay. He thought about going there to fix it, then he realised that there was no oxygen in the room, and he himself is on low health, so he ran back to piloting. This is good. We cannot be damaged anymore. Their weapons are permanently broken. So let's just put weapons in piloting and then biobeam, and that's the win. There are no more life signs remaining on the ship. You strip it of useful materials, bagging a measly 1 fuel, 1 more missile, and 23 scrap. and no extra bonuses. Oh well. So let's turn off the breach bomb, turn back on the shields because I want to start the next encounter with maximum shields, thank you. And let's push onwards. You detect an automated rebel scout attacking a small refueling outpost. We can avoid the conflict, or we can have a fight. Let's have a fight. Number 1. Detecting a higher threat, the automated ship moves in to engage your ship. So let's pause. Identify. This is an automated scout. This has no crew, so the anti-bio beam is going to do nothing for us, so we'll turn it off. I'm going to turn on all of our weapons. You will notice that this thing has no shields, which is nice, and only 5 health, so this can be a very short fight. Its weapons are 1 heavy laser, which will take down 1 of our 2 shield bubbles, leaving 1 shield bubble remaining, which will defeat their little beam. So we are completely invincible to this ship. If I wanted to cheese the game, what I would do, I would just go AFK and leave it running, and every time this laser fired, there's a 20% chance for it to miss, and when it misses, Litek will get 1 piloting skill experience, he will go up to 8, and Pipalook will get 1 engines skill. So if I just walked away and left the game running for like half an hour, I'd come back and both of these guys would be fully trained in piloting and engines. I ain't got time for that. But what I am going to have time for, and I'm going to expend 1 of our 13 remaining missiles, is explaining how breaches work on enemy auto scouts. Unless it misses, of course. Right, we'll talk about auto scouts and repairing. We'll just fire a heavy laser on this. And the dual lasers. Auto scouts do tend to have very high evasion. Now you'll notice that even though they don't have any crew, auto scouts slowly but automatically repair broken systems. This is a little bit annoying at times, but if you can cause a breach in the room, it cannot then repair the breach, which means it cannot then repair the system. Right, so this auto scout cannot repair the breach and it cannot repair the weapons, so it cannot repair that system. This is why things like heavy lasers, which do a chance of doing a breach on a fire, are good, and breach bombs are awesome against auto scouts. Let's do that. 2 damage on that, 2 damage on that, and that's the win. Nice. We get 1 missile, 1 drone, and 11 more scrap. And the outpost hails us as well. Thanks for the help. We've been harassed non-stop by those scouts. Take this on the house. Another 2 fuel, 1 drone, and another 24 scrap. Very nice. Now before I jump, I'm just going to check if any of these local pings are stores. You can't tell what a store is unless you've done something which uncovers the identity of all the pings on the map, or you're 1 jump away. You cannot tell where the stores are. So there's no store next jump, because then we could spend our scrap there. So what I think I'm going to do is go into the ship upgrades, and I'm going to upgrade our oxygen and our med bay. To give them a little bit of extra damage protection, so 1 damage will not knock out the oxygen anymore, it will just put it down to 1. Obviously some of the enemy's weapons will do 2 damage, in which case it will break it, but it also means that the oxygen will refill on the ship very quickly indeed, and our medbay will work even better if we put 2 power bars in it. And another reason I did this is at certain events, if you have certain ship abilities at certain levels, you will get an extra option. As opposed to just fight, run away or bribe, you may get another option, and it will be highlighted in blue. These blue options are often the best choice, and they can get you some really nice rewards. And most of them either come from having better oxygen, better medbay, or better piloting, which is another reason I've put 1 into each of these. So let's push on. Upon completing our jump, we receive a message from a nearby ship. Greetings and welcome to our beacon. For a small fee, we'll let you continue. We don't have the money and we wouldn't pay even if we did, so let's reject our offer. And we're into another fight. And again, they have a missile and a heavy laser. And really annoyingly, they have 2 NGs. This is a bit of a pain. We do not need 2 layers of shield because we only have 1 laser. So we really want the breach bomb because we want to breach their weapons and turn it off. The annoying thing is that they have 2 NGs, so they're going to repair stuff really quickly. We don't want the heavy laser, we do want the outer bio beam. Right, breach needs to go straight into the weapons as soon as it's ready. Good. They hit our shields, but it's okay. It didn't cause a fire because there's no little fire icon above it. And it's not affected the number of shields we have because we only need 1 for this battle. Come on, come on, come on. Recharge faster. See, he's repaired it already so that... Right, let's dual laser the weapons. As soon as their shields go down, bio beam. Oh look, this other NG is now coming to fix the weapons because he's not manning his computer anymore. So we're going to angle the beam this way and try and catch him as he goes past. I'm not sure if that hit him or not. Okay, the weapons are on fire. This guy's on such low health that he ran out of the room. I think we got that guy with the bio beam as well. Okay, they're both back in the room. Let's breach bomb it. We might kill them with the breach bomb. We got 1 of them. Good. So let's laser that and then bio beam him, and that's the win. Ah, now that the ship has been emptied of hostiles, you search it. Eventually, you find a prisoner who offers to join our crew. Hurrah! We're up to 3 crew members. 12 scrap. And welcome aboard, Mr. O'Regan. Now, the good thing about NGs is that they have an innate bonus to repairing things. So he is now going to be our repair crew man. He's repairing it nice and quick. And I think we're going to station O'Regan in the weapons. Just so the weapons permanently recharge 10% faster. Turn their shields back on because you always want your shields to be on. We'll remove the breach bomb, put the power bar back into the engines. So our evasion and shields and all of our defences are maximum at the start. And then if we figure out we don't need them, we can reduce them and then reallocate them to weapons. Good result that. We got a crewman. Your arrival is greeted by numerous computer alerts. The nearby automated rebel scout has used local satellite to deploy a virus to disrupt your shield system. Okay. So our shields are going to be badly affected in this fight. Hopefully it won't cause further problems before you can destroy it. So let's see. Yes indeed, our shields have been cut in half. So we only have 1 shield bubble for this. This may be a problem because they have 2 lasers. This is a laser that does 1 and that is a heavy laser that does 1. But unfortunately they're going to fire at almost the same time, which is a bad thing for us. So again, it doesn't have any crew, so we don't need the bio beam. We're going to want our lasers and the breach bomb. We're going to breach their weapons. If we can turn off one of these weapons and breach it, then it means we're going to be safe. Because their 1 remaining weapon will just be shooting at our 1 shield bubble all the time. This shouldn't take too long. They might hit us once because both of these are going to fire at the same time. Luckily for us, they fired their heavy laser first. And that took down our shields, and then it fired the little laser, which did 1 damage to this room. If they had fired the little laser first to take down the shields, and then the heavy laser, this one would be a 2, because heavy lasers do 2 damage. So again, we're lucky that the enemy AI is stupid. So let's fire our own heavy laser at their weapons. Boom, weapons now cannot be fixed. So we'll just dual laser their piloting. Piloting's been destroyed. Their evasion is now 0. So 1 more shot and we'll win. But I'm going to wait until this is ready. Why? Because O'Regan's, every time the weapons fire, he gets 1 more experience. And as we see, to rank up in weapons, you need to fire a lot. You need to fire 65 times. He's on 3 out of 65 now. But if we do the heavy laser and the dual laser, that counts as 1 activation each. So we got 1 extra XP from doing that. Every little helps. The ship explodes, leaving behind 3 fuel, 1 more drone, and 18 scrap. Not bad. Aha, there's a store right here, and a distress signal. Now, we've only got 36 scrap. We haven't got anything we want to sell because I quite like the burst laser. I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to go to that store. What we are going to do is make sure we visit this distress beacon. Distress beacons can be where the blue options come into being, or they can send you on a quest to another beacon somewhere else, either in this sector or in the next sector. So we want to go straight here and hope if it is a quest, it's either here or here, because this enemy fleet is not going to stop moving. You arrive at the distress beacon near a small asteroid belt and find a ship with pirate markings partially crushed between two large rocks. It must have been illegally mining the belt without proper equipment. We can try and dislodge the ship, or we can just destroy and loot it. Let's just destroy and loot it. You decide the pirate is not worth saving and fire a few volleys into their hull. Before you can scrap the remains, another pirate ship flashes up on your radar. Perhaps they saw your deed, or perhaps they wanted to claim the spoils for themselves, but for whatever reason, they're charging weapons, so let's continue and instantly pause the game. Okay, new thing here. This is a teleport pad, and this mantis is on its way to the teleport pad, and that is going to teleport itself on a ship and have hand-to-hand combat with our guys. This is bad. Mantis are really good at close combat, and our guys not so much. The slugs are okay. The NG absolutely sucks at close combat, so he's going to need some help. Okay, it's teleported into an empty room. This could be good for us. The other identification, they have two little lasers that do one shot each. We have two shield bubbles. We're immune. We're completely immune to their weapons, so we don't care. I can visually identify this is a rock. Rock crew members have 150 health, so we're going to have to hit him 3 times the bio beam. But we're not even going to think about using our own weapons for now. We're going to concentrate on dealing with this mantis. Okay, he's trying to get into the shield room. So what I'm going to do, Pipalook is going to run up here and man the door system, which will upgrade the doors another level, which makes them harder for the mantis to break down. You'll see they now have little striations because they are level 3 doors, improved blast doors. And I've vented this room to space. So what I'm going to do is now open the door, let the mantis in. Oh, no, he didn't fall for it. He went in, he realised there was no oxygen, and now he's going to try and break into the weapons room. But it's going to take him quite some time to break down this door. And as he does that, all the oxygen in this room is going to get vented into space. So hopefully we'll choke him out. He might not die, but he should be at least damaged. Enemy teleporters have quite a long cooldown time, so as soon as this finishes its cooldown, he'll probably warp back to the ship. Enemies with teleporters generally try to board you twice in any encounter, so if this mantis teleports out, he may well then just wait for a reload and then come back in, or it may be the rock that comes back in next time. The teleporter is ready, but he is not teleported out. Okay, he's taking quite a lot of damage because he's been suffocated. So let's close the doors so we don't vent out this room as well. We cannot close this door because it's been broken down. It will automatically heal itself pretty quickly. So what we're going to do, he doesn't need to be indoors anymore. He's going to go in here and fight the mantis as well. Yep, he ran away before he died. The door's fixed itself. He can go back in here. Let's just go here, turn the oxygen off, we'll just heal up. Interesting to see what they do once their cooldown finishes. Right, he's healed. Let's turn off the medbay, turn back on the oxygen, send everybody back to their normal stations. Here comes the rock. He's going to teleport on. Ah, he's in the shield room. Good, let's choke him out and put Pipalook back up in the doors. This is good. It's going to take the rock longer to break down the doors because he's a rock and he's not as good as at close combat as the mantis was. But he will slowly batter his way through. No, he just ran away. He didn't have enough time to break down the doors. So now both of these enemy crew have taken damage, and they boarded us twice, so I don't think they're going to board us again. So now you can work out how we're going to kill them. I think we'll just do heavy laser, anti-bio beam. The reason I'm only doing heavy laser is that I don't want to damage any systems, because there are no empty rooms in this enemy ship. Anything we hit will cause damage to a system, and that may cause the enemy crew to run around, and I don't want that. I want them to stay where they are so I can hit them with the bio beam. So that's why I'm going for heavy laser 1. The only damage it'll do is taking down their shield, so let's do it. Shield's down. None of the crew ran around to fix anything that got damaged, so we'll just draw a nice line through it. Definitely kill the mantis. Might kill the rock. It did kill the rock. He must have taken quite a lot of suffocation damage. Excellent. There are no more life signs on the ship. We strip it of 2 fuel, 1 drone part, and 21 more scrap. Nice. Good job, everyone. Some good strategizing there. Ooh, there's another store. So it looks like we can get to this ping, and then the store, and then the exit. Okay, in the background, not good. This beacon has been placed too close to a supergiant Class M star. The ship will gradually overheat until we get out of here, or die. A pirate, apparently oblivious to the danger of the sun, moves in to engage. This danger thing here is bad. Solar flares will light the ship on fire. Shields will reduce the effect. So we've got our shields up, that's good. Periodically, you'll get a warning thing, and then a bright flash will occur, and random fires will appear not only on our ship, but on the enemy ship as well. Identification, they've got a little laser that does 1 shot, and a beam laser, so we're completely invulnerable to them. The only thing that's going to hurt us is the star. So I think all we have to worry about, we can just leave the heavy laser anti-bio beam combo. Because I don't want to damage anything on the ship. Problem with the heavy laser and even the dual lasers, even if we fire the dual lasers here, there's no system here, so there's no danger of the enemy coming in here to repair a system. But it does have a chance to set fires, and if it sets fires here, they will run into here to put the fire out, and I don't want them to run around. I want them to stay exactly where they are, so I can draw a nice line across them with the bio beam. Come on, come on, come on. Right, heavy laser, don't miss. Good, shields down, bio beam, boom. Do that again, and that'll be that fight over. Just waiting for the sun to catch us all on fire. Here it comes. Solar flare imminent. Okay, looks like it's set fire to their oxygen, and our oxygen's on fire. Let's get our NG and put the NG to put the fire out, because NGs repair stuff really quick. We're going to wait for their NG to get into their oxygen room, and then we're going to fire our heavy laser, and then the bio beam, and that'll be the win. Nice. No more life signs remaining. We get 2 missiles, 1 drone, and 31 more scrap. Come on, NG, put the fire out quickly. Quickly. Okay, fire's out. Let's put the NG into the med bay, get him fixed up. FTL's ready to go. Even though the fighting is done, the sun doesn't stop, so that's going to always keep setting us on fire. So let's get out of here. Yeah, we've got enough time to go to the store before the exit. 1 and 2, so let's do it. You want to visit stores when you've got a decent amount of scrap. A transmission from the nearby planet indicates an outpost below which offers supplies to travellers. You send down an away party to check it out. These are all the things it has for sale. These are all the things we can sell. This drone control is something I definitely do want. Ideally, it would come with a defense drone Mark 1. This one comes with a combat drone Mark 1. Not great. I mean, combat drones are pretty good, but I'd rather have a defense drone. Stores can sell defense drones if they have another tab. This one does not. And defense drone ones cost 50 scrap. So I would quite like to buy the drone control and hope to either find or purchase a defense drone Mark 1 from somewhere else. So I'm just going to do it. There goes all our scrap. And I'm going to spend 2 scrap to fix up 1 bar of our hull. Boop. Done. So this is our new drone control over here. And this empty room now has the drone control in it. And if we want to launch this combat drone, it will consume 1 drone part and it needs 2 power bars to function. I should turn the oxygen back on them before we all die. Okay, we're going to need to buy power bars if we're going to want the drones online. So let's just push on and get to the exit. Perfect timing just before the enemy fleet lands here. Really good job. You've arrived at the long range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. Continue. Sometimes you get an event before this. An event. You see a small station fitted with hundreds of repair drones. You receive an automated message. We don't know who you are and we don't care. This is the right place for some ship repair. If we had money, we could repair 5, 10 or 20 hull damage. We don't have any money, so we're just going to ignore the station. And that is it for the end of Sector 1. We've done really rather well. We've got a drone control. We've got a heavy laser. We've got dual lasers in cargo. We've got a combat drone. We've got a 3rd crew member. And we've upgraded all of our systems. So yeah, pretty good. Usually I do the first 2 sectors in the first video, but this one's been rather long. So let's call it a halt here. We'll do sectors 2 and 3 in the next episode. Do come back for that, and do look after yourself until then. I'll see you later.